Hey everyone, my name is Kimberlee Mulkay. I am the girl with the glitter headband, and I am a Beachbody coach, and I have been a coach since, I want to say 2011, but I was not an active working coach until last year, February of last year to be exact. Um, Before that, I owned my own baking business. Straight out of college, I did cake pops and gourmet desserts, and I've always kind of been a health freak, so it kind of shocks people when they say that I used to bake, but I used really great ingredients, and I made everything from scratch. I did custom cake pops, like I said, for parties and weddings and all that good stuff, and I loved it. It was just really long hours. And then I got what I thought was my dream medical sales job, and this is actually what I went to school for. I have a degree in biology, and I went ahead and got my Bachelor of Science in biology to give me that little bit of extra science background and edge in the industry. So when this opportunity came across the table, I jumped all over it. You don't get many chances to enter that sort of world very often. So I felt lucky that I was able to do that. And shortly after that, I realized that it really wasn't what I want, but I stuck with it. And during that time, I was no longer able to attend the group classes that I really loved going to at the gym. And, you know, so I had already started drinking Shakeology for a number of reasons, and I'll get into that in just a second. But I got into the business side because I really was um, working out at home all the time. I was starting to complete programs start to finish, and I was seeing great results. And everyone that I knew, from my friends, people online, all of that knew that I was passionate about the products, and they would always ask me, how's it going? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And so it was actually just a really obvious transition, I guess, for me, but I was still very, very, very skeptical about this business, as many of you probably are. I came from a world, through college, I worked at a major convention hotel for almost 8 years. And we did some great business with some great companies, and whenever these certain multi-level marketing companies would come through, they would try and recruit you and tell you it was the best thing since sliced bread and that it's going to change your life, and how could you not want to do this? But it was just left a really bad taste in my mouth, and I never wanted to be that person in a bar trying to recruit the waitress to come join their business. So I left there thinking I would never join a multi-level marketing company. So that is why I was super hesitant and skeptical about joining Beachbody from the business side. But the more that I learned about the community and the people that were involved, what the company's mission was, and it was truly to help people, I kind of started to slowly jump on board. And, coming from a medical sales background, I did not want to be a salesperson anymore. I hated it. There were many days that I would sit in my car and cry because I just didn't want to go get beat down by different doctors. I didn't want to be on someone else's schedule. Your day is basically like at their beck and call, and it was just something that became really difficult for me. It just wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted, and so I kind of turned to Beachbody as an outlet for positivity and to do something that I really was passionate about and could really help people in ways that I never thought possible. Um, I really feel like it really is an opportunity to change someone's life. And so, the more I learned about it and the more I became engaged, the more I jumped in with 2 feet. So it did take me a little while. You hear about coaches that just a switch flips and they just go for it. For me, it was a little bit more of a gradual transition, and up until this point, I was working my other job as well. I'm still helping out, but I definitely took a step back, so that is a good sign. I'm happy that I'm finally moving in the direction that I want to. Um, since I've become a Beachbody coach, I have stepped out of my comfort zone more than I can express to you. I am typically a shy person, kind of an introvert. I love social things and being around people, but it takes me a little while to warm up to you. And so I never thought that I'd be sitting here making videos and explaining my life to you guys, but it's something that I really love, and you know, I just think that um, you know, Beachbody allows you to still be yourself, but continue to grow as a person and help other people, which I think is so great. Like I said, since I've become a Beachbody coach, I have become Insanity certified, and I'm about to start my own boot camp here next month, so that's very exciting. It's just another way to support this amazing company, and I feel so honored to be able to be a part of that. To go back a little bit about Shakeology and my story as to why I even started drinking that in the first place, because that was really the starting point of my Beachbody journey, was drinking Shakeology. I had suffered from some really major and awful digestion issues for years. I was overweight as a kid, and as a teenager, I was teased, I was bullied. I know that I get it all the time. People look at me and say, there's no way that you were overweight, but I was about 50 to 60 pounds overweight. I squeezed into my jeans just so that I felt like I could fit in and wear a smaller size. I have stretch marks on my legs still to this day. There's things that you deal with mentally, especially as a girl. As many of you probably know, like being overweight, it's very draining, and it can be a lot for somebody to handle. So when I was a teenager, I asked my mom if I could do a weight loss program, and she told me that I could as long as I stuck with it, because it was an investment for them. So I stuck with it, and I lost the weight, and that was a really life-changing moment for me. I started to fit in with people at school. Guys started to think I was pretty, and that was something that was like huge for my self-esteem. So I understand struggles pretty well. And so as I got a little bit older, I was so petrified to go back to that point that it's still to this day a little bit of an emotional topic for me. Um, I didn't eat well at all. I didn't suffer from an eating disorder, so to speak, but I was probably pretty close. I would weigh myself every single day, and that would dictate how I acted that day, what my mood was like, what I ate, if I would allow myself to splurge on that extra piece of chocolate that I love so much after dinner or whatever. It depended on that number that I saw that morning on the scale. And so I felt like a prisoner. And this went on for so many years I can't even count. For dinner, I would eat lean cuisines and salad, and everyone would joke about it that, oh, what did you have for dinner, Kimberlee? Lean cuisine? Yes, that's what I ate. That's all I ate. And just randomly, um, you know, I had made a choice to stop that. But also during that time, I was taking mounds of supplements, and I'm talking like over 10 supplements a day, multiple times a day. Um, and so over time, come to find out, those pills were making me toxic, and all those supplements were toxic. And I'm not here to bash other companies, because there's some really other great companies out there with some really great products. But what I was currently taking was Herbalife, um, and it left me so miserable that I went to see some specialists, some GI specialist that my doctor sent me to try and figure out what was going on, because anything that I ate, healthy or not, my body was rejecting it. It would leave me bloated and have really awful pains in my stomach, and it was just really miserable. So finally, long story short, I'll shorten it up for you guys a little bit. I went and I found out about Shakeology from my fitness instructor at the gym. And she gave me a sample, and I asked my husband if I could try it. And he was like, well, you can't continue to take your supplement and drink Shakeology because it's just too much money. So it was actually cheaper to switch over to Shakeology from my supplements. And so I did that cold turkey. I cut all vitamins, all supplements completely out of my life. And to this day, I really don't take any supplements at all because I get what I need from Shakeology. But even within a couple weeks, I noticed such a huge improvement in my digestion. I wasn't getting stomach aches. I wasn't scared to eat anymore. I started to just have more energy. My cravings for chocolate and things started to diminish a little bit, which is huge for me. My skin cleared up. I don't really break out at all anymore. It's super clear. And I haven't had to go to the doctor for antibiotics in the last 3 or so years that I've drank Shakeology. So I know that it's something that keeps my body healthy, because I would go twice a year for the seasonal cold and all that stuff, and I haven't had to do that. So it's really changed my life, and so that's really what started me on my Beachbody journey. I became a coach to get that discount on Shakeology and save some money. And then along the way, it was just kind of a stepping stone to where I'm at today. So, you have to pick the journey that's right for you. But this opportunity has completely changed my life in so many ways. And I know that I'm on the right track to creating a life that I absolutely love, and that I can stay at home and spend time with my kids one day, and just be there for my husband wherever he needs whenever he needs me, and hopefully I will retire him one day as well. But this business truly is for everyone. It really allows you to help other people at the point that they need help with, whether it's their fitness, of course, their financial goals, just adding that support system into their life that they may or may not have. It's a pretty great and rewarding experience that I did not expect to get. So, of course, I want to share it with you guys. So I hope that answers some of your questions and gives you a little bit of an insight as to why I chose this path for myself. And I hope that you guys will be open-minded to, doing it as well. I'll talk to you soon.